In this video, I will walk through a full stack demo of sending the email with NestJS API using Mailgun and Recaptcha Enterprise with a React Native contact form built using React Hook Form and Zod. First, enable Recaptcha service in your Google Cloud project and create a key for each client platform where you intend to use it. Mine is Android, where I need to enter the package of my app. And since this is a test key, my risk score will be, 0.6. And remember this Recaptcha key. For setting up Mailgun, connect your domain. I'm in the EU and add the domain. Then it will ask you to add the DNS records, but you don't need to manually add them, just log into your provider. It will automatically detect your provider and the records are already automatically set up. And if I check the status, I can see that Namecheap automatic setup is really crap because it didn't set up the important MX records for sending the email and one more DMARC record, so I'll have to do it myself. Advanced DNS. It's probably because the email forwarding was set by default and I need the custom MX and the mail server and again and the TXT record and this is it. So if I check status again, if upon checking the status it still says unverified, don't worry, it's there, but it takes a while to propagate the DNS. There are 6 records that should be added in Namecheap DNS and they are. Or a better alternative would be to move to Cloudflare to handle DNS and you don't need to add anything manually. Automatic setup just works. One more thing that you need is a sending key if you use it from the API and node the key somewhere in your environment. In NestJS for Recaptcha you need Recaptcha keys for the platforms you use. Well, you can also send the site key with the payload since it is a public key after all, but I prefer to define my keys, site keys in NestJS environment. You also need Google Cloud project environment variable. If it's running in the Google ecosystem, I don't know, Google Cloud Run, I think it's provided already in the environment. I haven't tried it, but let's say this is a self-hosted NestJS. And also for Mailgun, the sending key, the domain, and to which email Mailgun will send. I have the configuration set up in NestJS in a way that upon bootstrapping, if anything from the schema isn't defined in the environment, NestJS won't bootstrap. For Recaptcha, install the dependency Recaptcha Enterprise and also generate a service Recaptcha, which will generate a wireframe of a service, also simple unit test, and it will be injected in the app module by default, since I haven't defined a module separation for this service. If you define a module separation, you also need, if it's used in other modules, just define that a Recaptcha service is exported to be used. My Recaptcha service needs access to the configuration because I need the site keys and also initialized Recaptcha client. I will create a simple verify token function which we call the Recaptcha Enterprise service client and with the following checks, but first I have to call the site keys. This is the only key that I'm showing in this demo, but you might want to add also iOS or web. The create assessment call is the call which does checking of the token and it returns a 3 tuple elements, so I can safely assume that first element is always there and it contains important information like my checks. If the token is invalid, I want to pass the invalid token exception, right? If the action that was provided by the client doesn't fit with the action that we want it to, then there's another check and again. And the last thing, the most important one, risk analysis score returns a value between 0 and 1. I'm not sure what's the best score to test against, but I chose like something in the middle. Risk analysis score, in my case, since I set it the key for testing, it will be 0.6 and again returned Recaptcha low score exception. Those are all custom exceptions that I map in the global exceptions filter. and I map them all to forbidden, so all these classes extend from the same base class. One important thing, for the create assessment to work, the service which is running NestJS has to have access to the correct role. So let's say it's this one. You would assign a role in the manage open service account manage access and add another role. Try searching for Recaptcha, and you need the Recaptcha enterprise agent. There are a couple of ways to assign it. You can set the environment variable called Google Application Credentials, which points to the service account file, which has access to that role. Otherwise, gcloud CLI will look at the application default credentials. For testing difference between a generated test and the one that I actually use, that the services usually get dependencies and I need to provide an implementation of the environment configuration service. I can do that with replacing the interface with just mock, and I'm only interested in the keys that I will use. Well, let's say this one, okay? And if I run the test, it will pass, but this is not a good enough test. This is just an initialization test. Other test is the happy path, and that means I call the verification the actual implementation of the service, but with the mock of Recaptcha Enterprise Service Client, because even with the testing key, I think the Recaptcha Enterprise has rate limits, so I don't want to be calling the real service, but I can check the logic of my service. And the call create assessment can be mocked with spying on the prototype level. That's how you can partially mock the instance methods. Other solution would be to create a mocks directory, create this package in the mocks directory, and then provide your own mock. In this case, I prefer the prototype-based mocking, and expected action is login. Verify token is called against that action. And if I check that happy path, it passes. I should have also created other tests that cover all kinds of errors, but let's move on. For Mailgun, you need these dependencies, and also create a service, which will automatically eject the Mailgun service into app module and create a simple unit test, which will pass for now, but I will need to change it because dependencies will change. In the constructor, I initialize the Mailgun client, which contains the following fields. So Mailgun region is either EU or US. I have to use the API with .eu Mailgun client. And I need the Mailgun sending key, which I created from Mailgun domain management sending keys. My send email function contains the Mailgun domain, which is needed for creating the new email by the Mailgun client. This it shouldn't be the user's email. It's easy to slip on this because if you set the user email, if the domain of the user's email has records to prevent unauthorized use, Mailgun will reject your email. So only verified sender goes here. I would use something from my Mailgun domain. If you want still the reply to be available, if you want to reply to your user, there's a header for that called reply to. And I believe this is it. And I will call my send email from the app controller. I won't create a separate controller. I need two dependencies, Recaptcha service and the Mailgun. Why? This is my route. It's a post route which does the validation of the client received data with Zod, and I expect the platform and the token and also other fields to be provided. Otherwise, a client error bad request is returned, and it is returned from the Zod validator pipe. NestJS tries to parse the schema. If it doesn't succeed, bad request is returned with the specific errors. Otherwise, this handler is called, and first thing, Recaptcha service verify token is called, and this is a protection for the Mailgun API call from too much spamming. If it passes, Mailgun send email will be called, which will result in Mailgun status 200, a success, or other unsuccessful Mailgun statuses. One thing you might notice here that Although Mailgun spam calls are being protected by Recaptcha, this route is not protected, so you can spam it as much as you want because I haven't put a rate limiter. You can use the NestJS throttler and you can specify to limit requests by IP, but you can also delegate that to the upper layer. So for example, if NestJS is behind Nginx, you can put a rate limiter on Nginx, or if it's also behind Cloudflare, it also has rate limiting. I chose to delegate it to the upper layer. And the last step is the client part, which is for this demo React Native. This is my contact screen, and then I press send. Email was sent successfully. Example of an invalid email would be invalid action. I expect feedback to be called. My guess is I will get a 403. Well, it's not a guess. I mapped it like that. So if I look in my global errors filter, whenever Recaptcha service doesn't validate either an invalid token or unexpected action, I map it to forbidden status. And now the implementation of the client. For client, I'm using Axios for making requests and React Hook Forms and Zod for input validation. We are doing input validation on the server too, but it should be on the client side also. My API is simple. It just calls the feedback endpoint, and the base URL, the API URL, should be defined in the environment, prefixed with the expo public. If you are reaching the Android emulator, it should be 10.0.2.2 instead of the localhost. If testing from iOS, then localhost is just fine. And this is simple. My contact form page will contain 3 fields, as you saw, name, email subject, and body. And if I define the validation, and I define a Zod schema for it. Subject, message coming from, and name. Name is optional, and I forgot to provide it in a controller. If you worked with React Hook Forms, you know that React Hook Forms offers controlled and uncontrolled components. In React Native, you have to use control components. Example of React Hook controller, the components it has, you have to hook your text input to React Hook Form functions and also the value. Your form might contain errors and you want to display them. For example, this will be colored red if you don't provide a valid email. And also you will see a small message, what's the expected form input. You can put your messages in schema. This is such an example. Form should be an email and then you put your message here. And also button send should be disabled either when it's loading, when the message is being sent, so you want to avoid multiple sends, and also if the form is invalid, there is no point in calling this callback. In this callback, a token needs to be generated because the endpoint will not process emails unless token is provided. And the last thing is calling the API and returning a message in the form of alert that the email either was sent successfully or failed with some error. That's it from this full stack example of NestJS with React Native, Mailgun and Recaptcha. And stay tuned for more tutorials from me. Thanks for watching.